You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Welcome to day 2 of the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit. Business Access TV is here to bring you the highlights. I'm Shelly Hill. Stay with us. What, in your opinion, is the potential for gaming in the Caribbean and Central America at this time?
Right now within Central America, there's a lot of improvement in regulations such as Panama, Costa Rica, Honduras, and it's starting to grow. Same thing in the Caribbean. Being more regulated now, Jamaica started to come in with GLI. Aruba has been more regulated. Curacao is really regulated now. So it's growing. It's growing that people understand it's not only Las Vegas now. You can come down to the Caribbean and still gamble safely.
What are the specialty areas of Aristocrat Technologies, the company that you're representing here today?
Aristocrat is an Australian company. Our headquarters is out at Las Vegas, Nevada. My office is based out of Puerto Rico. We cover all the Central America and the Caribbean, providing slot machines, both on participation and for sale, and the system that produces the tickets and everything else and all the player tracking. You know, machines don't use coins anymore now. They use tickets, ticket in, ticket out, so we provide that also.
What are your expectations overall of the summit?
Well, we are looking forward to have the new clients, maybe partners here, maybe to have machines, I don't know, in participation, which is a good business, because if you don't like the machine or if your clients don't like the machine, then we change it. We have technical support also, so that's what we're looking for.
Tell us a little bit about Spin Inc. and what you're doing here at the conference today.
We actually, how do I put this? We save the customers a lot of money with, we do a refurbished machine and we supply parts. So instead of spending $20,000 on a machine, you can get one from us for $2,000 to $3,000. So if you're doing a 150 machine casino, it's a lot of saving.
What are your expectations of the conference?
It's just good to see the customers, say hello to everybody and see how things are moving in Jamaica. So it's always good to see the people, yeah.
So let's go into the Casino de Montreal. This is a picture of the game zone. I'll show a video in a second, but as you can see here, this is not your typical casino environment. It has huge screens, it has smoke, it has bump-in music. It's got dealer-tainers, dealers who are very animated and active, and actually they're actually entertainers who have been trained how to deal as opposed to the vice versa. And people come, and this is something that you would bring someone who's your contemporary to on a Friday night or Saturday night and have a really great time playing. And the dealers themselves are actually thoroughly engaging with the crowd. It's a completely different gaming experience. I walked in to Montreal Casino on a Tuesday in February. It can't be their peak time. And I mean, it's really cold in February in Montreal. And this place was packed, and there was not a person over the age of 35 in there. Everyone was vaping and doing their thing, and it was just, I mean, it was a whole different scene that I've ever experienced. So I'm gonna play a little video here. I might need some help. There we go. There's some French and English here, but you'll get the point.
La zone ici, c'est un casino dans un casino. C'est 40 bornes interactives sur lesquelles vous pouvez jouer à 4 différents jeux. Ça coûte pas cher, l'ambiance est positive. On vous invite à venir nous voir
The screens themselves, they'll put, like, if there's a big hockey game going on that night, they'll put the hockey on the side around it so that you can bet on the games at the same time. One dealer is dealing one hand, and everyone's continuing to play it. They do baccarat, they do blackjack, roulette.
Moi, j'ai trouvé ça vraiment impressionnant. C'est vraiment gros. Le design est vraiment intéressant.
C'est vraiment le fun. C'est une ambiance de party.
When you walk into a casino today, you sit there and you see the the older demographic sitting there. The younger demographic doesn't want to go and sit next to that person and go, yeah, this is a lot of fun. People will game. It's not that millennials hate gaming. You just have to give it to them in an environment that they used to enjoying their content. So whether that's providing a venue that is much more exciting or giving it to them the device that their face is already in 90% of the day. I mean, my kids are constantly on their phone. We're constantly telling them to put their phone down.
My impression of the zone is it's fantastic.
What I think about the zone is it's upbeat and it's a lot of fun and it's high energy.
I would hang out here, and fortunately, I do every weekend.
So if you ever do have a chance to get to Montreal or Ottawa, I definitely suggest you go up there and check it out. It's a really a great system that they've put together there. And so essentially that is, once again, a system that's doing account-based, internet-style gaming. It's just in the property. Is it offline or online? Live dealer in Atlantic City. So this is a really weird term that we use in our industry. Not that we would suggest that the dealers in your casinos are not alive, but for whatever reason, it just means that it's an in-person real dealer. And so you've all seen the RNG version of a blackjack game, baccarat game, etc. Well, this is actually a real person sitting in the casino at a real table with real cards dealing out. And you have an interface into that. So this could be your tablet or your computer or your phone. And you can talk to the dealer. You can chat on the left hand and she'll interact with you and respond. You can tip the dealer. You can select your bet amount and select the game and then they'll play. But what this does is it allows one table now to have an infinite number of seats. You could have thousands of people playing this. And so this is where it comes in, we as suppliers can't go into a Mocino, for example, and say, hey, we're going to go set up this system for you. It's just not big enough, right? But you could say, okay, let's install one of these in a regulated oversight studio in Jamaica. You could pick one casino if you want, build around it, make sure that it has all of the oversight and regulations, and then any of the brick and mortar licenses could then say, oh, okay, I will subscribe to this service, and therefore you can increase jobs, centralize the cost of it from a service standpoint, and deliver it to your nation. Or if nations make multi-nation compacts, you could say, okay, we're going to do this in Jamaica and serve it to the Bahamas, or vice versa, and make sure that the regulators are speaking to each other so that it is in a location that's being done right. But this stuff could be rolled out to the Caribbean if we can find regulations that allow us to do it in a protected and cost-effective way. Otherwise, this won't make it to the jurisdiction because the cost to put one of these systems up would be way beyond the viability of, for example, a Mocino to put this in if they only have a couple properties.
We are now at the BetCris booth to find out how you can bet on your favorite sports online. Tamika Arnold is going to tell us more. Hi, Tamika. What's happening at your booth today?
Well, what's happening is BetCris Jamaica is an online race and sports book. We offer every major sport, international horse racing, and now we're on to the local horse racing market as well.
How do we get to be a part of that?
Well, you can always go online at our website, www.betcrisja.com, and sign up for free. It's all free. And we have a bonus promo going on. You sign up with $1,000 or more, and you get an additional $1,000 bonus in your account.
Is there any limit to the sports that you can bet on?
Well, it's $100 minimum to bet. So $100 in your account online to bet, and you put in as much as you want. Okay, it depends on the sport that there are limits. It depends on the sport type. Some have limits that are different from the others depending on the sport.
So I can bet on golf, basketball, swimming, even esports.
Even esports.
Tell us a little bit more about that and how esports is taking its place in the betting arena.
Well, I mean, betting world is changing, as you can all see. Everything is being done online. People are moving away from getting tickets over the counter. You can sit in the comfort of your own home and bet on your cell phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever device you have, you can do it. Even your VR. Yes, because we've seen that here at the show. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. And here at BetCris, we offer all that and more. We also offer betting over the counter because the locals really like getting their tickets over the counter. So we offer that as well. You can also call in your bets on our phone line, which is 622-3625, our mobile office, and 631-3675, our Kingston office.
I mean, I'll be very honest. I started in the gaming sector a little more than midway in my career, in 1993 at the Rio. Never worked in a casino in my life, but I was hired for one reason: protect their money. And so I took that mission on. I went to all the gaming schools. I know all the mathematics. It's pretty simple. If you know what a $42 six pays, and you know the odds on craps or roulette, you can get on any game and know the odds, okay? You know the odds, you know what it's going to make. In my world, it's following the money. My best friend in a casino is the finance director, because I'm going to go to him and say, where are we underperforming? And my answer to him is, when he tells me, Douglas, right over here, could be a slot area, could be a table game, it might be in a revenue area, it might be one of my restaurants where food costs are too high. Somebody is stealing all the time. And it's kind of a normal thing when we look at numbers. And we did this with the Nevada Gaming Control. Back in 2010, I wrote an article with the Chief of Enforcement, Jerry Markling, who's now retired. He works for his Vice President of Security and Surveillance for the Venetian, the Sands Corporation now. But 67% of all the money stolen in Nevada by criminals, because when someone steals from you, your product is cash, they're criminals. 67% of the time, on the cases that were prosecuted only, that's a big number still, 67%, an employee was involved. That was earth-shattering, because there's another business we have called retail, where we sell things. You know, when I came here, I bought a few things from the Half Moon where I'm staying. And I'll probably buy a few things tomorrow before I go to the airport. In the scheme of things, in retail, 37 to 42% of all losses are employees. And in America, retail is $4 trillion. That's how big retail is, $4 trillion. It's 30 to 40 times larger than all the gaming revenue in the world. Employees. And those employees are much younger. Those employees aren't vetted, background checks. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But what I want to look at are, when we look at the types of security on your property, you have surveillance and you have security. Only difference between those two departments, in surveillance, we can do math. I know what 3 times 3 is, and I know what 9 divided by 3 equals. It's all threes, right? In the scheme of things, your security personnel are just as important. You know, when I was recruited to the Hard Rock in 2010, many of you remember when Bruno Mars got arrested. I'm sorry, that was my fault. First 2 weeks on the job, the celebrity got caught. Don't you think that helped with gaming control? Because the negative publicity that property had for the 2 previous years, they were under investigation for their nightclub being criminal, selling drugs, prostitution, organized crime, all of that going on, and their reputation was in the trash. So they hired me. They said, Douglas, go fix this. And I fixed it. I got it done I got in there on September 12th, and on December 4th, I was in front of the regulator, not for an interrogation, but they said, Douglas, you have no persons of interest left. And what a person of interest is a criminal, okay? All the persons of interest, I had identified them. I caught a few and put them in jail. I reorganized security, made security again. But they said, Douglas, how did you do that? I said, all I did was sit down and chat with people. 250 security people I had. I visited with all 250. It took me over 2 weeks, many hours, many shifts, and believe it or not, even I can shut up. See, ask this young man right here. It's hard to get me to shut up. But I can close my mouth and listen. God gave us 2 ears for our own reason and 1 mouth. He wants us to listen harder. So I listened, and what I was able to figure out, all these people in the room, 100 people, only 4 of you were bad. So if we have 100 people here, there's 4 of you in here I could discover. But in reality, it was discovering who on my staff in security was good. That's what I was after. I didn't have to worry about all of them. I just worried about this guy in the front row. He's my friend, so I can call him a criminal. He's a sales guy, right? Sign the order. In the scheme of things, that lets me focus on what I want to do. What are my resources? Cameras and technology. So when you think about the difference between security and surveillance, As an executive for security and surveillance in my career, because I've worked at many casinos, it's having these two departments work together to get the intelligence for you as an owner, for you as a regulator to trust us and do our jobs.
Home is where all the sweetness, silliness, and beauty of life happens. Discover your style and express yourself with furniture from the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Visit any of our 2 locations at Ligonier Kingston or Fairview Montego Bay. Find the most exquisite range of furniture in varying styles to suit your needs. So tell your story with elegant and affordable lounge, bedroom, dining pieces, and more from the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Here at Ashley, this is home.
With another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
It's season 12 and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
And what would the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit be without the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission virtual reality booth? Here we have Jamie Ranston, Director of Interactive Media at CGR Communications, to tell us more. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
What we are doing here is setting up we've set up a booth, a virtual reality booth called the BGLC VR Lounge. And what we're trying to do is demonstrate how virtual reality works in the gaming and casino world. We have 3 booths, 3 sections to the booth. The first one actually gives you a whole experience about it being in a casino around slot machines. And you actually are immersed into the world, and you can play a slot machine and win virtual cash. Can't take it away, not right now. The second booth, we're actually doing a whole Game of Thrones. If you know the series, we place you at where we call Castle Black at the wall, and you get to feel the environment and then go up the wall, and you have this whole virtual experience of heights. If you fear heights, don't do it. Okay, wow, great. And then the third section of the booth is for really to show you how we do sports betting. So you can look at a horse race, for instance, and in fact, I'm going to invite you to do it.
It sounds exciting.
And in the horse racing, you can bet, be the jockey, and ride the entire track and see how the outcome of the race was from the position of the jockey on the horse. So just a whole different way of experiencing sports and then sports betting.
And tell us how CGR Communications came up with this awesome concept to fit into everything that's happening here today.
Sure. Well, what happened is BGLC invited us, saw us at one demo last year, and invited us to actually show the community of the gaming community here in the Caribbean, what VR was all about. So I did a presentation yesterday where we spoke about the technology, what VR is all about, what augmented reality is about. We gave some on-stage demonstrations, which were quite exciting, and then basically set up the booth so everybody could experience it for themselves. So CGR, our role was to actually present this to the community.
Wonderful. And if someone wants to have this in their event, if a company is having a special event and they'd like to have this augmented and virtual reality, certainly CGR is the company to contact.
Oh yes, anytime you can contact me directly, and then you'll find me online. It's a specialty area, so there has to be a good reason behind it. We can invent the what you see. We have the technology, we have the 360 camera where we can put it in an environment and you can live stream 360 video. We can create the virtual environment as well. In other words, what it looks like in terms of, you want to be playing, for instance, in this case, poker on Blue Mountain, with a view of the city, we can set it up.
Well, this sounds really fascinating. It's good to hear you talk about it, but I want to be about it. So can I try?
Oh, sure, come, let's go.
All right, let's do this.
So I want to just go through this. These are the 5 steps that when we work with clients. Basically, in a nutshell, what my company does is we a brick and mortar operation, whether it's a commercial casino in the United States or a tribal casino. We work in the Bahamas. We work in Budapest, Hungary. When we have a client a brick and mortar client that wants to get into either iGaming, social gaming, esports, virtual sports, whatever vertical, these are the 5 steps that we use. And we've got this done with system, and I want to share this with you. The very, very first one here is comparison matrix and vendor selection. And out of everything, this is the most important part that you will do. I can't emphasize this enough. Everything that your initial success or failure will depend on this step. And I'm going to go through this real quick. On the left here, we have this nicer car, and on the right, we have one that is not so nice. But the point is that as long as the lights work and it passes whatever smog, they're both licensable vehicles. But do you want to drive the one on the right? Now, conversely, you can give somebody the rocket ship, but that also doesn't mean that they're supposed to be driving that as well. And the point I'm making here is that a platform can be, a platform or content, all of these things can be licensable, but it doesn't mean that they are best of breed. It doesn't mean that they should be used at all. If you are, you might actually make your customers quite angry and frustrated by having to go through a system that is not created as well as another. So what we do here is on a comparison matrix, we'll go through, and when I say we, you should go through, however, let's just say in Jamaica or whatever jurisdiction you're in, you have 3 or 5 platforms that are licensed. Well, you want to go through them all, and you want to go through them all very thoroughly. And the other part of this is you definitely want to have somebody that has some experience to go through this. And it doesn't need to be me or anyone else in this room. The point is that somebody that has operated or has intimate knowledge of how these things work needs to go through these systems and go through them meticulously. And these are just some bullet points. Underneath each of these are 10 or 20 different things that need to be checked. You know, we have a list that is probably about 120 different items that we go through. But just so, for example, software and hardware. What games, what content does this system come with? Are they an aggregate where they go and they get content from several different providers? Are they only giving out their own content? So, for example, not to throw any other, well, I am going to throw some people under the bus. So, when we look at software like Scientific Games or IGT, you're going to get that content, and it's going to be great content, but that's all you're getting. And you're not going to get their content when you use somebody else necessarily. It depends on who you're going through. The hardware, what is required for you to have? Payment processing, does it come with one? Are there terms agreeable? Is that payment processor licensed? Do they need to be? Can you plug in your own? Or are you forced to use what they have? Same thing with, I'll go over to reporting is the next one. I'm actually supposed to go like that, but I already started down, so we'll switch it up a little bit. Reporting, what kind of reporting do they give you? It can be a dashboard, and that's great if you are a tribal entity and you have a gas station with 15 slot machines in it, you just kind of need to see a dashboard. If you are an operation, a real operation, you have to look at all sorts of stuff, and they're not all created equal. And at the end of the day, anyone that's going to tell you about their product is trying to sell it to you. And it doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that you need to have somebody on your side to explain to you what all those things mean and what's missing.
And we're now joined by the conference chairman at the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit, Carol Martinez-Johnson. It's great to catch up with you after such a wonderful event. Tell us the significance of the BGLC hosting this event here in Jamaica.
Well, this is the first that we've actually had a conference of this type in Jamaica. It shows the relevance of Jamaica to the region, the commitment that we have to regulation of this industry, and it was such a great opportunity for networking. And it was also wonderful that we had 11 other Caribbean countries attending the summit.
And how significant was the summit for the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission to host it here in Jamaica this year?
Very significant, because this is the first that a show of this type has been held in Jamaica. And so for me, I think it's a way of opening investment, showing the world what Jamaica has to offer. We actually had 15 regional countries attending, so that shows that we're on the map and we seem to be doing something right.
Well, certainly it's a significant achievement, and we wish you bigger and better for next year.
Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap for the 7th Caribbean Gaming Show and Summit, held right here at the Montego Bay Convention Center. I'm Shelley Hill for Business Access TV, serious about business.
We may not have been around during Taki's rebellion. We may not have been around when Samuel Daddy Sharp took a stand in leading the Baptist War in 1831 to 32. Mr. President, we were not around when Paul Bogle and George William Gordon were executed. But we are here today. We will play our part and right many wrongs.
And the government did just that by approving a bill which clears certain national heroes and their supporters of criminal charges in the fight against slavery. Today we pay tribute to our national heroes and other courageous men and women who've paved the way for us to live in a free, independent nation.
God and nature first made us what we are. And out of our own creative genius, we make ourselves what we want to be. Follow always that great law. Let God and the sky be our limit and eternity our measurement.
Marcus Garvey has paved the way for us to determine our own destiny, in which we validate who we are and what is most important to us.
It is he who taught us that the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness.
I shall see the black man to see beauty in his own kind and stop bleaching his skin and otherwise looking like what he's not.
Encouraging us to heed the lessons of history, unleash the power of the pen, and create a new era of scientific greatness.
There is no future for people who deny their past. Mind creates, and as much as we desire in nature, we can have through the creation of our own minds. Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men. But in your homes and everywhere possible, you must teach the higher development of science to your children.
Jamaica's first national hero was born in St. Anne's Bay on August 17, 1887. Over the next half-century and 3 years, he would work, find love twice, raise his progeny, and leave behind a legacy that resulted in him being conferred with the Order of the National Hero in 1969. A lifetime after the UNIA was a fact and the People's Political Party had foreshadowed modern self-governance, Marcus Garvey died in 1940 and finally returned home for lasting rest in 1964.
With God's dearest blessings, I leave you for a while. One love.
Think on this. How would you feel if Sunday is your regular rest day off from work, but just because Christmas Day falls on that day, your boss unilaterally decides you do not deserve an extra day of rest? Added to that, the previous Christmas you were entitled to 3 days off during the season, but months before this particular holiday, a law was passed giving only 2 days. This is the kind of injustice and ill treatment that was meted out to Samuel Sharp. Up to 1830, the enslaved were allowed 3 days holiday at Christmas. In February 1831, the House of Assembly passed a law reducing Christmas holidays from 3 to 2, Christmas and Boxing Day only. Since Christmas Day 1831 fell on Sunday, a rest day, Sharp believed that they were entitled to the following Tuesday. A strike ensued. The resistance to work ballooned into what history records as the Christmas Rebellion, the ill-fated event that helped pave the way to freedom. Born about 1780, Sam Sharp was the slave of an English lawyer in Montego Bay, St. James. Sharp was the lay deacon of the Burchell Baptist Church and became a leader in the congregation. Samuel, Sam, Daddy Sharp, saw the injustices of slavery and inspired his fellow brothers and sisters to participate in Jamaica's first strike action. There were no labor laws at that time that spoke to the rights or privileges of slaves. Sharp may be considered a forerunner to the labor movement as he fought for the rights of his fellow workers. For this, Samuel Sharp was hanged on May 23, 1832. But as he said,
"I would rather die upon yonder gallows than live in slavery."
In 1834, the Abolition Bill was passed by the British Parliament, and in 1838, slavery was abolished.
We now join Prime Minister Andrew Holness for his Heroes Day message.
Greetings, my Jamaican family. Today on National Heroes Day, we reflect on the National Heritage Week theme for this year, One Love, One Family, One Heritage. It is a fitting theme as we recognize and appreciate the role of the family as the ultimate partnership and the solid foundation on which strong societies are built. Today, we celebrate our heroes, past and present, who helped to create the bonds of love and unity among all Jamaicans, those who have gone beyond self and acted in the interest and well-being of others, often putting their lives on the line and in some cases, giving their own lives in order to secure a better life for our Jamaican family. Our heroes of the past, Paul Bogle, Nanny of the Maroons, Sam Sharp, and George William Gordon, paid the ultimate price in the struggle for freedom, justice, respect, and dignity. Marcus Garvey, Norman Manley, and Sir Alexander Bustamante led the struggle for our independence and nationhood. Through their sacrifice, we are a free people, an independent nation, striving to secure justice, peace, and prosperity for all members of our Jamaican family, and doing our part to advance the welfare of the whole human race. Today, we not only celebrate those who have paved the way, but those who continue to do their best for Jamaica land we love in service to their fellow citizens. There are countless heroes from all walks of life and in several sectors of business and industry, the public service, medical services, and others who continue to display acts of heroism daily. Jamaicans are truly extraordinary people, and we see constant reminders of our resilience, selflessness, and fortitude. Today, we celebrate Jamaicans like Selena Reed, Grace Allen, and Kimani Anderson for their courage and heroism in ensuring the safety of children at the Walker's Place of Safety who were trapped by fire. We acknowledge the bravery of Sophia Cameron, Verlyn Dowse, and Camille McIntosh, who saved the lives of 22 infants during a fire at the neonatal care unit of the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. We acknowledge Lloyd Nelson and Javon Lewis, who displayed courage in rescuing 5 adults and a baby who were trapped inside a building after heavy rains in St. James. They are real examples of ordinary Jamaicans who, when confronted with adversity, have acted with extraordinary selflessness and courage to save the lives of others. Likewise, there are Jamaicans whose sworn duty is to put their lives on the line to protect and to serve the Jamaican family. Today, I want to single out the brave members of our security forces, the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force. Some have lost their lives in the line of duty, and many have had close calls, suffered serious injuries, such as the soldiers carrying out operations in the hills of St. James, or the policeman on duty in Half Way Tree who responded to a robbery and was shot, but was saved by the grace of God that his phone was in his pocket. It should not go unnoticed that despite the challenges and points of disgruntlement over conditions and other terms of service, the security forces have stepped up to the call to rid Jamaica of the criminal element while upholding the law and protecting the rights of all citizens, even the criminals. The security forces should be commended so far for their conduct and responsible use of extraordinary emergency powers. I wish to commend the men and women of the JCF and the JDF for the work they have been doing in general to combat crime, and particularly for their work and conduct in the zones of special operations and in areas declared under the states of public emergency. It is unfortunate that for the past several decades, there has been an erosion of public confidence in some elements of our law enforcement institutions. In the extreme, some communities have come to perceive our law enforcement personnel as the enemy. This is never a healthy situation and only gives succor and cover to criminals to act as if they were protectors of the citizens and dispensers of justice. Now, the government is determined to change this. We want every citizen to see our soldiers and law enforcement officers as their protectors, as the people who have enlisted and sworn to give their lives to the service of the Jamaican family, to keep the Jamaican family safe and secure. We want our security forces to be the heroes of our people, the role models of our children, and the symbols of trustworthiness, reliability, security, and peace. I'm seeing signs that this transformation of the image and public perception of our law enforcement institutions is happening right before our eyes. Once the public trust is restored, the fight against crime will be more effective, as there is no greater tool in crime fighting than citizens who cooperate with the police to share information and give up criminals in their communities. In the same breath, there are citizens who, in spite of the prevailing unhelpful social norms, are working with the security forces and are providing useful information in the fight against crime. You are heroes in my book. I encourage every citizen to use the specially created channels to share what you know with law enforcement. As our forefathers found wise and effective ways of resisting oppression and brutality, which eventually led to our freedom, so it is that today, communities that are held hostage and oppressed by criminals must wisely play their part to resist and expose the criminal oppressors. It is the right thing to do. Peace, prosperity, and progress are our true destiny as a people. However, we will not just arrive at our promised destination without actually taking the steps to get there. And we will not reach our destination if we are all looking at each other, afraid to take the first step. This Heroes Day, let us resolve as ordinary citizens to be brave and take the steps to our destiny of peace, prosperity, and progress. Happy Heroes Day to my Jamaican family, and may God continue to bless us and give us the courage to action our destiny.
Born in Stony Gut, St. Thomas in the 1820s, he suffered as a slave. He toiled in the hot sun working and praying for the day he could say, "Yes, freedom come." And when that day came, the day he was free, the plan of becoming fully independent was his next feat. One he accomplished, small farmer, then landowner, to being one of 106 persons on the voters list, he was well on his way. So much so, he became a Baptist deacon in the village, a true Jamaican activist, angered by the injustices and oppression faced by the people in St. Thomas by one Governor Edward Eyre. So, he gathered his people and marched onward they did, left, right, on October 11, 1865, the day of the Morant Bay Rebellion. Over 500 people died, but not in vain. That special day spurred changes in the social and economic conditions of people not only in St. Thomas, but the entire Jamaica. The Right Excellent Paul Bogle, the man who lived and died for his people on October 24, 1865. A man of honor, a man of truth, our national hero.
Mante, my name is Marcia Douglas. Currently the acting colonel of the Charleston Maroon community, the chief.
Welcome to our museum.
So the role of Nanny of the Maroon in Freedom for the Maroon is that she provide, or she make herself into the diligent leader that one would have been looking for. One with spirituality, one with the zeal of moving on, and one with the zeal to protect. And so what she did was to ensure that her people had been served the right way, in which she ensures that they were no longer in slavery. So what she did was to undermine the British on the plantation with the help of her two sisters, Mishibo Kwashi and Shanty Rose. And so doing that, they took their people to the mountains where they had an advantage over the British. The British had to import dogs or bloodhounds from Cuba to hunt them down. Now later on, when the treaty was signed and Jamaica gained independence, it was really a hard tussle for people to recognize Nanny for who she was. Thanks to recent Colonel Harris of Moortown, who had made that one of his deepest dream and one of his aim, one of the most sustainable things that he was going to work on, so that Nanny could have been today the national heroine of Jamaica.
Leader of the opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips' Heroes Day message is next.
This year's celebration of National Heroes Day coincides with the 80th anniversary of the 1938 Labor Rebellion. In that year, two of our national heroes, the Right Excellent Norman Washington Manley and the Right Excellent Sir Alexander Bustamante, provided the leadership for the Jamaican people, which helped win social and political rights that were denied for a century following emancipation. These included ultimately the right to vote, the right of workers, and all the other rights such as freedom of speech and association, which are today enshrined in our Constitutional Charter of Rights. One of the most important of these rights was the right of workers to organize through their trade unions. This provided the foundation to win many more significant rights and benefits for our workers in subsequent decades. Today, many of these hard-won rights and benefits are at risk. Both Bustamante and Norman Manley would have vigorously protested today's widespread practice of calling full-time workers independent contractors, thus depriving them of many of their benefits, such as pension rights, maternity benefits, and sick leave, among others, which were won over the years through the collective bargaining process. So, as we recognize and celebrate the achievements of our national heroes, let us commit ourselves to ensuring that the gains secured for the workers are protected. We also must remember that effective nationhood and nation building must be inclusive of all Jamaicans. Progress and prosperity must include everyone, most importantly our workers. We must remember too the importance of voluntarism in nation building. All across the country, it is the ordinary Jamaican continuing to give service in their neighborhood watch, their youth clubs, their citizens associations, and community centers, or helping the indigent and the elderly that keep our nation together. These are the ones who ensure that as best as possible, we don't leave any Jamaican behind in our quest for progress. We urgently need a renewal of that spirit of voluntarism that expanded educational opportunities for our people and which provided the foundation for the community building efforts of Jamaica welfare in the 1930s. Ideally, each and every Jamaican should be a part of their own community development process and should be a beneficiary of the progress of the nation. Fortunately, there are thousands of our ordinary Jamaican citizens whose daily contribution to nation building makes them national heroes and heroines in their own right. We would do well to emulate these Jamaicans who continue to give voluntary service every day. National Heroes Day also provides us with the opportunity to honor our heroes of the past by emulating their commitment and their fixity of purpose to build a better Jamaica. So in honoring our national heroes, let us summon up the strength of Daddy Sharp, the bravery of Nanny, the determination of Paul Bogle, the empathy of Buster Manty, the vision of Garvey, and the integrity of Norman Manley. Let us all use today to revive our spirits to build a progressive Jamaica that offers opportunity to all our people. May our reflections on this Heroes Day call us to this action. God bless you, and God bless Jamaica. Thank you.
George William Gordon, now Right Excellent George William Gordon, national hero, was born in 1815, the son of a Scottish father and an enslaved Jamaican mother. He got a call to make the world a better place, and for that he was never forgiven. You should know then that conditions in Jamaica then were just unbelievable. People were suffering, 311,000 persons in 1838, enslaved, received their freedom and were just thrown outside. And what George William Gordon did, he bought lands and he cut up the lands and allowed the poor, the dispossessed, to have access to the land. And his colleagues did not like that. He chastised the governor in meetings right at the space that the governor needed to do more for the people. And the governor didn't like it, called him a mischief maker. And this is the space where George William Gordon came to, as it were, give up himself because he heard they were looking for him. And from here, he was taken to St. Thomas, where he was tried and hanged on the 23rd of October, 1865. And he reached the Friday, and they hanged him the Monday morning. But before he was hanged, he asked for permission to write a letter to his dear wife, Lucy. He had married this lady, Shannon, Lucy Shannon. He married her, and he asked that he could write a letter, and they allowed him to write the letter. That would have been Sunday night, early Monday morning. He wrote the letter to say that he was innocent. And if anything that he did that was bad, was to help poor people.
In Roxborough, Manchester, is a museum dedicated to telling the story of the life and work of the Right Honourable Norman Washington Manley. You will find it nestled on a hillside at the place of his birth.
Once inside, you will be captivated by intriguing information on his years as a soldier, athlete, scholar, statesman, and advocate. At the museum, you can read about how Norman Manley supported the cause of the workers at the time of the labor troubles in 1938. His advocacy took on a more defined role when he rose to lead the newly formed People's National Party, PNP, in 1938 and remained as president until his retirement in 1969. Norman Washington Manley became chief minister after the 1955 election and premier in 1958, the same year Jamaica joined the West Indies Federation. A faithful supporter of the Federation, Manley put the issue to the people, holding a referendum in 1961 to decide if the country should remain in the Federation. The answer was no, and Manley arranged for Jamaica's orderly withdrawal. Manley kept himself busy with the things he was very passionate about, leaving behind an extensive legacy, such as his role in obtaining universal adult suffrage in 1944 and developing a new constitution for independent Jamaica. And so, in 1954, he led efforts to secure executive powers for elected representatives. It was also under Norman Manley's leadership that Jamaica achieved full internal self-government in 1959, a precursor to political independence that would come 3 years later. Manley's dedicated service to Jamaica earned him the Order of National Hero in 1969. Norman Manley died on September 2, 1969.
Welcome to Blenheim, birthplace of a hero. Sir Alexander Bustamante was the first Prime Minister of Jamaica. He was born on the 24th of February 1884 and died 6th of August 1977, but still lives on in history. Here at his museum, you can get the rich history of him. So please feel free to come and enjoy. We are open from 9 to 5 weekdays, Monday to Friday. So please come on in and get the rich history. Right? You can call the Jamaica National Heritage Trust if you want some more information.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart,
the wisdom and courage of my mind, and the strength and vigor of my body.
In the service of my fellow citizens, I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace.
To work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly.
And play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Our Heroes Day edition of Jamaica Magazine has come to an end. We hope you were left inspired to play your part to make Jamaica the island of choice. And it starts with you, working in your little corner, with other persons working in their little corners of the rock, to chart a course for the future. Happy Heroes Day, Jamaica. One love. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
I'm Butch Hendrickson. You're watching BATV, serious about business.
On this episode of Chill Spot, we'll be spending some time with Roberto Gallardo, Managing Director at Celebration Brands Limited. He'll be showing us his favorite pastimes, which include running and then chilling at Cafe Da Vinci, a classic Italian-style restaurant in the heart of Kingston. So don't go anywhere, more after this. Hi Roberto, I'm Candy.
Hello Candy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So what are we going to be doing today?
Well, we will have some run today.
We're going to run?
Yes.
Not for long, right?
A little bit, like 5 kilometers, something like that.
So that's a 5K, that's what
5K,
people call a 5K.
yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that, but then we're going to eat after that.
Yes, a little
Where are
bit.
we going to be eating?
I like the Italian food. We will have Cafe Da Vinci.
Okay, great. So let's talk about this run though. How long have you been running?
Since 5 years ago, I start to make some training and
Right.
try to race some competitions.
Okay, so does that mean you're running professionally now, or are you just still doing it kind of
No,
leisurely
it's not
just to keep
professional,
fit?
but at least get the medal from some races, yes.
So what's the most recent race?
Well, the last one was the Miami half marathon. I ran there.
What about the Rega Marathon out here? You did that
I
one?
ran the half marathon in here in Jamaica, in Madrid.
So did you place?
I get the medal.
You got a medal, and that's what counts.
Yeah, that's the main game
Right.
here. Yeah, actually a very good experience. It's the first time that I actually ran in this type of heat.
Right.
And,
Yes, it's hot,
and
man.
it was tough, but at the end, like I said, the main game is to finalize, get your medal, and
Right.
the satisfaction that you get because you have to train.
What are the benefits of running now? And like how we're going to be running for so long, tell me what I need to do to prepare for a run like that.
Well, it helps you not just your health. You can clear your mind when you have the run, when you have that experience. You can think, what do you need to improve? What do you need to change?
Right. So are there other ways that you work out? Do you go to the gym or do you just?
I normally go to the gym, but if you ask me my passion, it have the run. Yeah.
The running.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So do we have to stretch and warm up before we run?
Definitely. Well, first of all, we need to tighten our shoes.
Okay. I tied mine already. So I'm ready. But let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Perfect.
So I take it that run was easy for you since you don't seem like you're out of breath. No. And I'm dying.
It's a good run. It was a good run.
Okay, so the most important thing after a run is to hydrate, yes?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so we're going to be getting some food now.
Yeah.
And we're going to be meeting up at Cafe Da Vinci.
Perfect.
All right, great.
Okay, good job.
Thank you. Coming up. Would you say you love your job?
Yes, definitely.
There's no work without passion, right?
Yeah, definitely. You need to have that because if not, you will not achieve results. That's a fact.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Hi again, Roberto.
Hello, Candy. How are you?
Hi, it's good to see you.
Good to see you again.
So we're going to be having Italian food.
Yeah, I love it.
Tell me a little about this restaurant.
Well, actually, I find this restaurant since 2 years ago. But I like the food.
You like the food?
Yeah, I like very good.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Any type of pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, I like the pizza, yes.
The pizza here is good.
Yeah. You want something to drink?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So you're the managing director at CBL. Tell us what that entails. What do you have to do on a day-to-day?
Okay, well, CBL is a son, I will say like that, from two big companies here in Jamaica, from Pepsi Cola Jamaica and from Red Stripe. And my job is try to maintain the balance between the three of us.
Right.
We have around 500 persons working with us in CBL. We are a company that actually makes the sales and distribution for the both main companies. And my job is to try to help the people to drive the job and to try to achieve the results. That's the main game here.
Would you say you love your job?
Yes, definitely.
There's no work without passion, right?
Yeah, definitely. You need to have that, because if not, you will not achieve results. That's a fact. I have an excellent team, actually. You know that one person cannot make the things happen.
How did you get started at CBL?
Well, actually, when I was in Guatemala, I am working in logistics and operations part. And part of the owners of PCJ here in Jamaica, they talked with me and they offered the opportunity to come to Jamaica and to try to work with the people in Jamaica to put CBL in a different level. It's kind of different job, because here I saw the entire company, not just logistics, and that's a challenge. But at the end, I accept the challenge and I try to make my best.
And so far so good, right?
So far so good. we have a very good 2015. The first thing that we actually discussed when I came in January last year is that we need to join and work together, and to try to understand that yes, we have difference. We came from two different companies that have different cultures. Plus that, we need to understand that we have some Jamaican people, some Salvadorian people, some Guatemalan people. We need to put all that together and try to actually extract the best things. In the beginning, it was a little challenging, but now I can say that we are in a better position. We know each other. We know that we need to work like as a team, because if we don't work as a team, we will not help the company to drive the result. Yes. I believe that the people actually start to understand what we need to improve to put this company in the level that we want. We want to make this company the best sales and distribution company in this country.
Right. Well, you know, Jamaica is a Pepsi country.
Yeah, definitely. And when you have the most strong brands together, you need to do something good or excellent to have this one.
Absolutely. Red Stripe and Pepsi, that's a good combo. How do you see yourself affecting change in the industry that you're in?
I will separate in two. One is an internal challenge. That means that CBL just have around 3 years old of existence, and you need to work with the company culture. You need to build that. Plus that, CBL has a lot of changes in the exec team. They start with someone and they change, and I come over, and they are trying to face that, and that's a main challenge. We are working on that. We are not in the state that we want, but we're in our way. The other one is the external one. Jamaica, the entire countries in the world haven't changed. Yeah, you have political change now. In the industry, we have that. We have a better competition, different type of brands, different type of products that we need to keep very close, because we want to keep going and to keep doing our job as the first companies here, because like we said, we have the most strong brands in this company. But we need to work every single day to maintain that, to try to say we are the best since 10 years ago, and we want to be the best 10 years move forward. Yeah. We need to learn what is each one of us position, what we need to do in that position to help drive that result. We want to win the gold medal.
Right.
That's the main game, and we want to win consistently, not one time, because we want to be the best. We want to be the best company in this country.
What would you change to make Jamaica more business friendly to our international partners?
Well, I think that as a country, we need to review our policies, the speed of change, the entire change.
Right.
We need to understand that if we don't open the country to the different variants that we have in the world, we will have troubles to connect to the world. Because at the end, we are in an island. We need to maintain our connection with outside, but we need to give them the confidence that in Jamaica we do the things correct, excellent, in the best way, trying to achieve the better results. And if we can put that in our people, in our Jamaican people, we can change. And we can be the best, because at the end, I live here. I am a Jamaican.
Right.
Definitely.
You're one of us.
Yeah.
What are some tips that you can give us on changing countries, on changing cultures, on that whole migration process to make that, smoother?
Well, I can say, one, you need to keep your mind open. You need to know that you need to learn, not the other one.
Not the other way around.
Because you are the new one.
Exactly.
You are the new kids on the block. You need to learn from the people. You need to find good people that you can learn from them and to try to understand the entire environment. I want to learn from this country. I want to know places, people, culture, traditions, all that kind of stuff. And food, for example, we have a different type of food also. And with that, we need to work with that. I need to understand that I will not get a tortilla here. That is a very common thing in my country. But I will get some jerk chicken.
Right.
And I need to work with that, yes.
Right. Okay. Well, speaking of lunch and food, I think we're going to be having lunch outside on the terrace.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much.
Coming up.
We can have maybe between 10, 12 or 15 persons running for the presidents.
We only have two.
And for
it's a
me,
problem.
Yeah, but imagine that. You can relate there?
Yeah, I can't imagine the political tension then if it's, 12 to 15 parties. Wow.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung, dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business. Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
It's the only show that traces the steps of professionals.
From first and second form, I was involved in some club, some activity.
Then gives information on exactly how to get into that same career.
You do need a good grasp of English. And no, you can branch out into whatever area you want to.
Tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Career Moves and catch up on all our episodes at batvja.com.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point. Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report. Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Roberto, talk to us about your childhood.
I born in Guatemala. I raised in Guatemala City. I am the second of third.
Okay.
I have a big sister and a young brother. I play football, basketball, volleyball, whatever you name it, I can say.
So you're very active then,
yes,
obviously.
Yes, and I like the music.
Music.
Yeah, I play the drums.
Oh, you play too?
Yes, I play the drums.
Roberto, you do know how to things.
Yeah, I play a little bit guitar.
Okay.
But the drums was my thing.
That's your thing.
Yeah, I can pass 4 or 5 hours.
Just playing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell us about your family.
Okay, I have a wife, Maria Jose.
She's also from Guatemala.
She's also from Guatemala. I know her in a church. We was a couple just like 1.5 years, and then we decided to get married.
Okay.
Very young. We have three children.
3?
They are my life, actually.
Obviously, yeah. I guess the oldest one would have experienced the change most significantly. You know, how are they adjusting?
I said to them that maybe I am the most interested to get back to Guatemala. Not them. They are happy here. They are doing
You're the only one.
A lot of things here. They have a lot of friends. They go to the related houses. My wife have a lot of friends. They spend a lot of time doing
So everybody
PR.
has adjusted well.
Yeah, they are the PR people. I am working here. They are the one that are actually making
But
progress.
that's nice to know that everybody has settled in well.
You have a very beautiful culture.
Right.
We are good here. Actually, I love to be here.
I'm so glad that you've enjoyed your experience so far. What would you say are some of the other differences then between Guatemala and Jamaica?
The weather is different.
Yeah.
We can start with that.
So you guys are cold out?
Yeah, we have a lot of, for example, volcanoes. We have some active volcanoes.
Active volcanoes?
Yeah, yeah. Guatemala is an Spanglish. I will say Spanglish.
I was
Why?
just about to say Spanglish meaning Spanish and English.
We have a lot of influence from the American culture.
But the language spoken in Guatemala is Spanish. Okay.
You can realize that the people use a lot of English words to merge with the Spanish thing and drive the conversation like that.
Right.
But we are a country that speaks Spanish, but we also have 22 dialects
okay.
separately. When you talk about politics, we can have maybe between 10, 12 or 15 persons running for the presidents. You need to
As in political parties?
Yes, yes.
10, 12 and 15?
Yes.
Oh, we only have 2.
That, and for
it's
me,
a problem.
Yeah, but imagine that. You can realize there.
Yeah, I can't imagine the political tension then if it's, 12 to 15 parties. Wow, wow. All right, now on a lighter note, would you like to share with us an embarrassing or awkward moment that you've experienced, maybe in Jamaica or otherwise?
Well, yes, I have one. This was my first town hall with the people on CBL, with the company. In my intention to actually share something with them, I tried to put an example using Usain Bolt.
Oh, no, it's Usain.
Nobody get that. and I start to sweat because I don't get the connection.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew what I'm talking about. Simon Takter, who is my HR director, came to me and said, "What do you need to say?"
What are you trying to say?
And I show the script. Oh, it's Usain Bolt.
And I'm sure it would have connected if people like realized.
Yeah, I need to start over the entire thing because I need to connect and to make the sense of this. But we are used to in Guatemala and Central America to name it like that. It's Usain because it's in the Spanish in the Spanish sense. But that's for me awful. It's awful because to connect to the people,
you need to say it the way we pronounce it, right?
And actually that gave me a hard time, but at least I learned
you're
something.
adjusting, adjusting, and you learned something.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Roberto, thanks so much for taking us to your chill spot. I've enjoyed the day. Running, it was like the perfect day. You run, you do some exercising, and then you eat some good food, right?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
So thank you very much.
No, thank you, Candy. Thank you for having me. And for me, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to share this with you and to have this experience in Jamaica.
Thank you. Great food, good conversation, and a little bit of physical activity pretty much sums up how I spent my day. Thanks, of course, to Roberto Gallardo, Managing Director at Celebration Brands Limited, for sharing with us how he spends his leisure time. And until next Friday, I'm Candy for Chill Spot. Bye! On this episode of Chill Spot, we'll be spending some time with Roberto Gallardo, Managing Director at Celebration Brands. Wow. So, I start everything with so. I need to stop that.
Hi everyone, I'm Roberto Gallardo from Celebration Brands, and I will be with...
Yes, I will have this thing I can't pronounce. Linguine ai gamberi. So it's shrimp pasta. Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's Season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business Access TV comes to you from the 2018 staging of the PSOJ President's Forum Service Excellence Awards. I'm Javon Keys and we're here to bring you the highlights. Stay tuned.
The purpose of this award is really to raise the bar for service excellence in Jamaica. Organizations apply for the award, and what we have found over the years is that organizations improve significantly. See, when you go through a process of assessing your organization on very specific criteria, it opens your eyes as to what your strengths and the gaps are, and so companies work assiduously to improve on it. So over the years, we have seen an increase in the quality of the service delivered by the winners in this competition. First of all, they apply, and their application is screened. Once they are screened, if they score a particular score, then they are selected and shortlisted for a site visit. Now we have trained examiners who actually go into the organizations to assess the organization against these criteria, looking for objective evidence, because anybody can write anything on an application, but we have to look for the evidence, and then on the basis of that, the panel of assessors get together and submit a report to the panel of adjudicators, which are the judges, of which I'm the chief judge, and it's from that process we select the final winner in 3 categories: the large company, the medium-sized company, and the small company. Now this year we're also giving category awards because there are 7 categories against which the organization is assessed: leadership, customer charter and standards, training and capacity development, international benchmarks, monitoring and recognition, monitoring and measurements, recognition and reward, and complaints management. So we're giving awards in these because some companies excel in these areas and they might not win the big award, and so on the basis of that we figure that encouragement sweetens labor, so we give awards to those who merit it.
I'm just reminding you that we are in a context that does not afford us the luxury of behaving like savages, of doing whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it, and of treating ourselves as dirt. This is not a world that we are going to succeed in if we are going to succeed. So, self-respect and a common belief in our country, a caring commitment to our fellow citizens, are a part of the underpinning of customer service, of good governance, that must be an essential part of whatever progress that we hope to make as a nation. We must develop ourselves to be people of our word, to keep our commitments, not to make throwaway promises every election time that we all know will never be kept, and we all know we won't ask to be committed, to be fulfilled. We must build institutions that are credible, that give value for money every time, that are honest stewards of our stakeholders' interests, that value transparency and accountability over individual or partisan interests. So, when in 2017, I spoke and said that 2018 would be a crossroads year, and that we must develop our human capital to support our economic reforms, I wasn't just talking about technical skills training. That is important, it's critical. But we must forge a new national culture of mindfulness of others, of self-respect, and of integrity. And I know I get controversial from time to time. And when I criticize the government or I criticize politicians, it's not partisan. It's not personal. It is just that they are our leaders and they are held to a higher standard of customer service. They are out there. They hold themselves out just like we do, just like every leader of a company, every manager who is on the forefront of a company. You hold yourself out to uphold the values of that company which you promote. So that our leaders must obey a higher moral and legal code of governance for us to follow. Otherwise, no amount of economic progress will stop us from failing as a nation.
We're pleased to be a part of this event that celebrates customer service, an aspect of business that we believe is critical to ultimate survival and success of any venture. Rubis, as a proud member of the PSOJ, applauds the Jamaica Customer Service Association, Jackson, for this very worthwhile initiative. I commend the many local businesses that are being celebrated today for their commitment to excellence in service. It is important that we recognize and promote the need for quality customer service across all business sectors. At Rubis, we look at customer service in a very holistic way, where exceptional engagement can be experienced on multiple levels. We strive for quality customer interaction on the service station forecourts, as well as in our convenience stores. You may have noticed that Rubis is rolling out a new experience in retailing via our Ultra Shops, delivering a clean, well-lit, well-merchandised shopping experience, representative of the Rubis brand promise.
Mr. Mitchell spoke about mindfulness. What a way to begin. Raymond touched on transformational. Now those two things to me already mean something just by the mere fact I'm here today. Every time I sit in an audience such as this, I'm actually humbled. I'm humbled because when I listen to the person they're introducing, I wonder who they're talking about. Because I don't consider myself to be any different to anybody else who is in this room, regardless of what certification, educational development you have. To me, we're all equal at the foot of the Lord. And so the Private Sector Service Excellence Awards is designed to help organizations improve service quality and to recognize the private sector organizations that consistently, and I'd like to advocate and say again the word consistently, deliver excellent customer service through a clearly defined strategic approach. The PSOJ and the JACSA are firm believers that the success of private sector organizations is dependent on consistent delivery of service excellence. Research has identified a positive correlation between customer service and customer satisfaction and profit and growth. The PSOJ and JACSA encourage companies to continue working towards improving their levels of customer service and to maintain service standards to further the growth and development of their organizations. Now, again, as I sat this morning and I listened to Mr. Mitchell, you really couldn't miss the fact that you're listening to someone, and even at the table that I'm fortunate to be seated at today, I'm surrounded by individuals that when you listen to them, they're all passionate about the reason why we're in this room this morning. So today I have bad news and good news. The bad news is, ladies and gentlemen, customer service is more and more becoming a lost art. Almost like sunken treasure on a ship. The good news is you've all now just become Pirates of the Caribbean, and your job is to find this treasure and restore it to its original position, which means excellence has got to be the hallmark of what we do every day. From the simple things to the big things, it has to start somewhere. Service is the rent we pay for being. It is the very purpose of life and not something you do in your spare time. In most Western countries, service accounts for more than 75% of GDP, a share that will continue to increase. It is without a doubt that service is an important competitive advantage for many companies where differentiation is often achieved by service attributes provided. This is why you must find it and make it important in our society.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, Fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, products launch, workshop, or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas Mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
Now, this is the moment that many of us have come here for, in addition to the inductees and to hear Mr. Mitchell and to hear Dr. Brown. These are the award criteria. And I know we've been having a lot of discussions as to how is it that we are going to get service excellence to be embodied and entrenched in organizations and be woven into the very fabric and the DNA of the organization. This is it, folks. So it begins with leadership, strategy, and governance. This is what the organizations have been assessed on, their customer service standards and customer service charter. The charter is your promise to the customers, the standards, how do you do what you do in order to deliver service excellence all the time. And these must be codified and lived and not be a paper tiger. We have found that the organizations that have people who have been given the responsibility to, one, live service excellence, train others in service excellence, monitor the whole business of service excellence and performance against standards. When you have a cadre of people who live it and monitor it and help people to improve, it is amazing to see the difference it makes in an organization. So the winners are, come on folks, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Yeah. We're going to start first with the category awards, and this year we made a decision to give category awards in the medium and small category and category awards in the large company. We have for leadership and strategy, Massey Gas Products. And in the large company category, Sagicor Group. And for monitoring and measurements, in the small medium category, we have Yellow Media Jamaica. We start with the overall winner in the small company category. May I invite Sarifa Insurance Brokers to join us. The large company winner, and that is Victoria Mutual Group. May I invite Miss Jennifer McDonald and Mr. Howard Mitchell to present a special award to Rubis Energy Jamaica for their consistent support in service excellence.
It's always a pleasure to be recognized by the PSOJ and Jamaica Customer Service. You know, I think this award is very timely for us. I mean, we entered in 2015 and 2016, we're also winners. We sat out last year and we came back again this year. So we're very appreciative of being recognized, as I said, from the PSOJ and Jamaica Customer Service Association in terms of what we're doing, not only for external customers, but for our internal customers, which is our team members. From the start, it's Sarifo. Service and technology has always been the forefront of what we do. You know, from the beginning, I told my team members, you know, we cannot see ourselves as a perpetual work in progress. So the last thing you want to do is to remain stagnant. I mean, we're in a dynamic world of technology. Things are changing, you know, every second, and we always have to be ahead of the game in terms of not only how we treat our customers in terms of service, but also technology in how we're delivering our service to our customers.
It's a fulfilling feeling because we have been a member of the PSOJ for a number of years, and anything that we can do to encourage quality, and in this particular case in customer service, is something we fully endorse. It's our lifeblood because, as you know, we are a retail organization. It means that we interact with thousands of customers on a daily basis, and we have to ensure that in our delivery that we're delivering best service at all times.
It is a fantastic feeling. In fact, this is our third time winning. We have won the 3 times we have entered, and it's really just a testament to our work. We value our customers. We believe we exist only because of our customers. And I think this is testament of our work. At Gaspro, we believe at the end of the day, it's about the customer. And it's because of the customer why we exist. So we really take this as a testament to our service of our customers who go from a 25 kg user in the hills of Clarendon to a big hotel on the North Coast. And we really value and celebrate what we have been able to do. And we are glad to have been recognized by our peers.
This is very important to us. This is really our means of supporting customer service excellence in Jamaica. We recognize that this service excellence event, is a major catalyst. It serves as a catalyst to encourage organizations to put in systems and processes in place to deliver excellent customer service. Because at the end of the day, customer service is a very important pillar in growing your business. And we're all operating in an environment that's in a global environment. And if we are to be competitive as companies in Jamaica, we have to see customer service as an important pillar. So we have been supporting this. It was easy for us really to make the decision to sponsor the awards, and we have been doing this for over 4 years. And we certainly enjoy this partnership with the Jamaica Customer Service Association and PSOJ. We are a proud member of the PSOJ, so we see this as our contribution to the organization of which we are a part.
I think we are getting there. I think we have just completed, we just ended the 3-year medium term, and I know that we are working with the PSOJ as they roll out the next 3. I think what you have seen today is an example of how companies have stepped up to the plate to offer good service, and not just to locally, but to internationally benchmarked standards. That is a part of the competition, the extent to which companies not only follow, but we can see that they are using international best practices. And so I think we have made a significant part of the journey. We are on a significant path. Of course, it needs to be improved because, we spoke about mindfulness, we spoke about happiness, because at the end of the day, you cannot serve others if you are not mindful of them. You cannot serve others if you yourself are not confident and happy in yourself. And so I think that was a running theme this morning. None of the speakers collaborated, but you would have seen that the themes about service excellence, we're doing it to please you, because when you're happy, we're happy, and there are multitudes of effects that come after. They say what's measured gets done. And so you need to set targets, you need to monitor them, you need to train your staff, because especially if you're in a service industry, persons will be different. And so you cannot assume that you have trained them last year and so that is fine. You need continuous training, and you need to constantly review and upgrade your standards. While we're talking today at our table, we said a lot of managers need to find a way to walk around to find out what's happening on the line with your customers, because your managers and directors will tell you what they think you want to know or want to hear. So as a good manager, you need to ensure that the standards you've set, that they are actually being implemented.
Means a lot because it speaks to the very core of why we exist, right? Why the PSOJ exists. PSOJ is representative of the private sector, a majority of the private sector in Jamaica, and representative of the principles and ideals and interests of the private sector. And service excellence is very near and dear to our hearts, so we will support this and we will continue to support it. I would say that in Jamaica we have issues with how we treat each other, generally, and customer service is an aspect of that, okay? We have issues with governance, which is an aspect or includes customer service and customer obligations. So we do have an issue. The issue is not just about customer service. The issue is in how we are mindful of the interests of others.
It's amazing, amazing. Certainly when we came here this morning, we felt like winners coming into the room just having been nominated. So the fact that we actually received 6 of the 7 awards and the overall award. I mean, it's just an amazing feeling. I don't think that I've quite come to grasp it as yet. We don't really want to give away all our secrets, but suffice it to say that we, about a year, maybe a little over a year ago, we formed a customer service unit, and this really was done in order to give a strategic focus to customer experience across the VM group. So what we had were like, separate entities having their own standards, doing their own thing, and nobody really driving the strategy around service experience. So just over a year ago, I joined VM, about 18 months actually, and one of my mandates, which came from our group CEO, Courtney Campbell, was the establishment of this customer experience function, which we did, recruited somebody to the position, Denise Williams, about a little over a year ago. And we have just been focused on establishing the standards, embedding new standards, monitoring the complaints, implementing a complaints management system. So for us in VM Group, we actually believe that we're just getting started. So to come away this morning with 6 awards, 6 category awards, and the overall award, we believe that that is just encouragement for us to continue on our journey and to really double down on what we're doing, because obviously we are doing something right.
And that's it from us here at the PSOJ President's Forum Service Excellence Awards 2018. I'm Javon Keys for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this: no more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more crime.
I'm Kito Akwanza, co-founder and CEO of Island Eyewear.
And I'm Jordan Kakwansa, co-founder and COO of Island Eyewear. Island Eyewear started February 28, 2004. It was small beginnings. We didn't have computers, we didn't have all the equipment necessary, but we had a lot of passion and a clear idea of what we wanted to achieve.
I had some previous work experience as a youngster. I had experience working in a syrup factory for one of my uncles, and my other uncle I work with, he's an ophthalmologist, so I ended up working in his laboratory for some time, you know, summer jobs and so. I ended up working for my mother. She had a small store there in New Kingston called New Kingston Optical.
We cater to everyone. We are so fortunate. We have products to fit everyone. We offer primary eye care. That is basically refractions to the eyes to determine if you need eyeglasses or not. We do offer complete lab service. We are one of the few optical companies in the island with a complete surfacing lab where we manufacture prescription lenses. Our customers are able to receive their eyeglasses within 1 hour, 2 hours, or 24 hours. We also have a wide variety of frames, varying from $1,400 to $5,900, and that is our factory direct collection, designed to cater for everyone. And we also have brand names, very popular designer frames. We have a wide variety of prescription lenses. Sensation is one of our most popular brands of lenses that are photosensitive. They turn dark in the sun. We also offer upgrades as anti-reflective coating, polycarbonate, that are very, very popular and help to protect your eyes from things like glare and UV.
The money came from an investor slash a business partner and family member. My mother had some savings, just enough to get us started with the business. We had to prioritize when it comes to what to do with the money. I said the money wasn't that much. We basically did the renovations for the store with the cheapest material possible. We bought some the important equipment, the ones that you can't do without. You're in eye care, so you have to have the best equipment to deal with the eyes. As Jordan mentioned, we didn't have computers because we didn't really need them at the time, just starting out. Without the profits, we wouldn't be able to grow as we have. We've recently been growing quite fast. We depend on the profits for that.
We get requests through various portals. We get phone calls, we get requests on social media mainly. We also have a team that goes to several locations where we don't have stores to promote. And we just listen to the people and what the people want and where they want us. We recently opened a store in Moran Bay, and our customer base in Moran Bay is just so lovely, and they welcome us to the town, and they were so happy to have us, and we were so happy to be there to serve them. Our locations definitely help. We are very environmentally conscious. The environment is very important to us. Right now we have 13 locations, and we look forward to continue growing and bringing more locations to every single parish in the island. With the popularity of the internet, it's being more easy for us to reach everyone who is interested and join our team. We have a website where persons submit the applications. After that, our HR manager, who is our right hand in the hiring process with over 15 years of experience, goes through a selection based on qualifications, education, experience, interpersonal skills, and the ability to be able to change, evolve, and be a team player.
Each employee understands that they're not only responsible for their own success, but the success of the fellow employee. We encourage employees to become shareholders, to encourage this culture of solidarity. In fact, there are probably over 10 current shareholders of the company that are employed to the company.
On a typical day, being a couple, we work together, we live together, we start our day very early. We head to the office and we have children that we have to take to school. You'll be surprised, but some days we don't even see each other because he's dealing with a section of the business and I'm working with another part of the business. So we will head to our headquarters and I will run over all the different things that happened the day before and what we need to achieve for that day. And that has to do with operations. And,
I mean, basically, we really have nobody. We don't have the luxury of somebody to tell us or remind us of what is to be done in a given day. So we have to really have a certain discipline and presence of mind and alertness about what we're trying to achieve. We have to try to prioritize for each day, because you can become overwhelmed by a lot of different things.
Yeah. Basically, we start at 9 to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 10 to 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and we adjusted from there after we have gotten a feedback from our customers and get a better feel of the area that we are located at.
Being an entrepreneur has its ups and downs, like everything else in life. I mean, it's quite encouraging when you see people grow, people you have met grow in a positive direction, and the disappointments are often also when you see people take the bad direction. The fact is that being an entrepreneur, you have a lot of encounters with people. You meet a lot of people as you try to build a team. So you probably you're going to end up with more instances of these things, encouragement and also disappointment.
It has affected us in a positive way where we have a bigger reach to people and we're able to make a bigger impact on persons that we encounter in life, whether it's through the business or whether it's through offering them the service that we're here to offer. And it also has in some way had a little of a downfall because we don't get the family time that we ideally should have. It's that balance, work, family, work, life. It doesn't really exist. That we don't really visualize it. So it's just being able to spend more family time together that we have been missing. But hopefully, as time goes along and our team grows and we're able to delegate more, we'll be able to enjoy that side of being an entrepreneur as well, which is the ideal freedom of time.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On Point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall.
Unsecured loans.
Alleged corruption.
Follows the closure.
If they made this investment,
brokers
strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers. Financial meltdown. Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Guard. News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Camille Gale. Saturdays and Sundays.
we are very aware of our surroundings, and we take from everything. And we are very open-minded to everything. So we might get suggestions from a customer that come into the store, and we will just go ahead and apply it, implement it to our business. And we also hear from our team members. They are the most valuable asset that we have. And when it comes to giving us feedback and ideas on how to be more efficient, we have found throughout the years that the best way to build a successful customer base is through customer service. Once the customer service is perfect, once we're able to delight our customers, they will be our customers for life. Also, giving back to the community has proven very effective to building our customer base. One of the challenges that it don't really stop us from our from what we want to achieve. And I'm sure every single entrepreneur in Jamaica is facing this, is the lack of trust and the lack of support from lending companies. If you have a business, it is very difficult to find support from lenders. Even though we didn't depend on them, it would have helped us reach more people. Apart from that, also the fact that Jamaica is not equipped with schools for our field. There is no schools to educate people on how, for optometry based jobs. That's another challenge that we face. But then again, we don't let challenges stop us from what we want to achieve and how we want to do it. We always find our ways to be able to bring service to customers. So we have taken profitability from our company to grow our business. We have applied intensive training to our teams to help them learn more and educate more, so we offer perfect service to our customers.
As an entrepreneur, there are no failures. You fail when you stop. There's no way to prevent mistakes. We try our best, but mistakes will always happen. How you deal with the mistakes, though, is really what tells what you're all. It's what tells what you're all about. If you are willing to stand behind your mistakes and correct them. I mean, I've seen Jordy done so much in that regard. You know, whenever we drop the ball, and we're ever so understanding of the fact that there is somebody who is affected by this mistake. Yeah. And they're not going to sympathize with our shortfalls. So we just have to make it right. Yeah. I mean, Jordy can tell you more about that.
With the damage control now, we start from insertion. We start from the core. We start from the moment that we select the frames that we're going to offer to our customers. We have to make sure that they're of the best quality and also of the best price, so that this frame can outlast 1 year of wear, so that it doesn't break of rigorous wear and exposure to very high temperatures in this country. So from the core, from the selection process up to the delivery, we use every single step as damage control. If by any chance anything was to happen, and we know that things can go wrong, we always work with our customers. The satisfaction of our customers is our priority, and we always go above and beyond to keep them happy, to make sure that they are satisfied. We prefer to put people, our customers, over our profits. So even if it might represent a loss to the company, we always go above and beyond for them.
Our growth strategy is pretty simple. We grow towards our customers. First of all, we make it very well known what we do. And then we start getting requests. Oh, do you guys have a store here? Do you guys have a store there? We listen. As the requests pile up, we grow towards those requests. For long term now, we have we have just implemented our plan to achieve energy independence for our company. We began installing solar panels. In fact, some of our laboratories already run on them. One of our labs, our main lab, runs solely on solar power, so we are off the grid. And we plan to achieve this over the long term. Every store, every part of our process will be off the grid.
Part of our plans to make sure that we are here very long, and when I say long, I mean even after we are not around, is to make sure that our teams and everyone coming after that shares our view and understand why we're here and what we want to achieve, so that they can carry on our vision. We don't want Island Eyewear and what we're doing and how we're doing it to end with us. We want it to carry on for generations to come. So we use all the conventional mediums of advertising: television, radio, billboards. In 2010, when the internet started to get more popular, we started using social medias and social media platforms and the internet. It has worked out very positively for us, but up to date, the most effective way of advertising our business is through customer service. Delighting our customers through service is the main way to get a satisfactory campaign out there. You could have the best commercial, you could have the prettiest billboard out there. Once the customer comes to the store, the service is not up to standard, then you wasted your time, your effort, and your money in vain. So customer service, delighting our customers, smiling to them, being transparent with them, educating them, supporting them, and through encouragement to our customers, we have achieved a very, very successful marketing strategy. I believe that the best formula is through hard work and perseverance, never giving up, accepting no as an answer, and turning every downfall or mistakes as a school to learn and help you achieve and get where you want to go. Once you have a clear reason, once you have a clear understanding of what you want to do, why you want to do it, and how you're going to do it, then you are definitely set to be successful.
Success comes from within. Success is much like happiness. No one can decide how happy you are in any one moment. You decide that. It comes from within your own brain, your own mindset. Regardless of what is happening around you. If you feel successful, you are successful.
One of my fears is not being able to deliver. I am not originally from here. English is my second language. So not have been gone to official training on how to run a business, not having that wide educational background that most people in business do. I sometimes fear not being able to deliver a task that I'm presented with, which I find challenging. But then right away, I remember where I'm coming from. I remember where I am right now, and I use that as a storm to bring me forward and achieve that. So right there and then, I just forget everything, carry on, and succeed.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, products launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
One of the things that motivates me the most is being able to touch people's lives, the persons who are around us every day, from our team members to our customers, being able to touch everyone and make an impact on our community from the ground up. I find motivation from the persons from every walks of life that visit our stores, that we are helping and we are assisting. My greatest inspiration is my husband. Ever since we met, he has inspired me to always be a better person. And throughout the years, he has achieved that. I always look up to him for everything.
I think as an entrepreneur, my greatest inspiration comes from fellow entrepreneur Marcus Garvey. What he was able to achieve coming from humble beginnings.
The services that we offer, the products that we offer, these are items that you can basically find anywhere else, but you will never find them with the heart that Island Eyewear offer them to you. We all have a very clear understanding of why we're doing, and how we are going to do it. So when you come to Island Eyewear, it's not just the ambience of the store where you will find attractive. It's not just the smiling team members ready and willing to serve you, but it's the passion behind all of that. It pours out on what we do. My favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur is being able to touch people's lives, to have access to so much people and make a positive impact in them, on every single person that I meet, whether it is somebody that we're doing business with or a customer. Just being able to have access to such amazing people that can inspire me and that I can inspire them in return is just one of my favorite things about being an entrepreneur. The success of Island Eyewear is attributed to hard work, passion, and teamwork.
Well, one of my most satisfying moments I could recall, is when we just successfully set up our first laboratory. When we started this business, we didn't have our own lab, so we had to use outsource lab work. So when I decided to do that and we actually did it, it was quite satisfying.
The driving force that holds our lives together.
As a couple, we love going to the beach, and we take our family to the beach. And one of my hobbies is paddle boarding. So I enjoy taking my 11-foot long board to the beach on weekends and just drifting away.
Yeah, I enjoy putting a boat in the water at times, at the beach. We do that quite often enough. I also tinker with, older cars. I'm a gearhead. I dabble in construction. I enjoy that. I play golf. I like the idea of weight training, although I haven't done that in a while. So yeah, there are a few things I'm interested in.
So I'm overall a happy person. I consider myself to be happy every day, with highlights of more intense happy moments. And for me, what makes me very happy is to be able to spend time with my family and my children. Spending time with them is just so precious to me. It's so intense. Also being able to see our team members grow within the company and professionally, it always makes me super happy. The fact that I'm able to work with my husband and also share a personal life with him, it just happiness right there.
We've been successful over the years, and we've achieved a certain level of financial freedom, and we're in the frame of mind that we're a long time ready to give back. But we have discussed this, and in our mind, giving back is not something you just do. You see a man out the road and you just give him a little thing, or something like that. It must be a systemic thing. It must be ingrained in what you do every single day. So with that said, we have two initiatives that we're embarking on. We have started the implementation of them. We have a pilot project there in Papine where we put some of the recycled bins, because we've identified this problem. I think this problem affects everybody. So we've started this project where we install easy-to-use recycle receptacles, and where people just drop their plastic bottles, which I think is a non-biodegradable item. With Framing Futures, we intend to have a huge impact on the future of our people by allowing somebody, a child who would not have been able to achieve to their fullest just because of impairment, vision impairment. We want to make sure every child at least gets one pair of glasses in their lives from us. So we have chosen the age of between 9 and 11 because that's right before you start preparing for your GSAT exams. We will be giving eyeglasses to every child who needs one. My advice to young entrepreneurs, and this has nothing to do with actually when you're born. If it's a young idea in your head, just get it done. Go ahead and do it. And you will only have failed when you stop. So you get to decide when you fail. While you're doing it, you will be successful, in my view. Another important thing to understand as an entrepreneur, the most important thing is that to be successful, you must understand that you will not be able to do it on your own. I think that's one of the most important things to understand. You must be able to form relationships, and that is mutually beneficial, relationship with other people. And you won't be able to do it on your own. So if your plan is to be a one-man army, you're probably not going to succeed.
One of the best advice I can give to young entrepreneurs or anybody who is thinking or planning on starting a new business is to stop thinking, stop planning, and just go ahead and do it. Take action. Make sure that you follow your heart, and whatever it is that you are embarking yourself to do it with passion, and to have a clear reason why and a clear understanding why you want to do what you want to do. Work hard, and work even harder.
Hi, I'm Richard Panduit, CEO for the Separate Group of Companies. You're watching Business Access TV. We're serious about business.
With
With a variety of local TV programs to choose from, Jamaican TV has come a long way from the Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC, first airing in August of 1963.
And see you next Thursday at the same time for the grand finals of the Jamal JBC quiz.
Cameo takes a look at our Jamaican TV production industry. Vivacious media personality Denise Hunt is an all-rounder, actor, radio and TV presenter, and producer.
I've traveled all over the world doing plays. I've traveled with Oliver Samuels. I've traveled with David Heron, who I think is just the most wonderful thing since sliced bread. I've toured Europe. I remember touring Europe with a play named Love, Marriage in New York City. That was awesome. Against His Will, one of my biggest parts, I played the part of a pregnant woman whose husband was raped, and as a mother, that just flattened me. That was a big part for me. I've done TV, plays on radio with Ed Wallace, radio drama. Wow, I've done quite a bit. You name it, I've done it. And I made the decision to lock my hair. I was advised not to do it. But you're not going to get no work. Come say you're black, you know, you're on TV, you don't have the little work on TV already, you're black and so. Let me tell you the challenges that existed for me. First of all, people couldn't figure out if I was a downtown girl trying to act uptown or I was an uptown girl trying to act downtown, right? For the record, I'm a downtown girl who's a downtown girl. So that was one kind of challenge where, you know, your audience and your fans, your viewers, whoever, tried to box you in a thing, and they wanted you to be who they wanted you to be. The other thing was my look. I'm a dark-skinned girl on TV. That was an issue, and so I fell into the trap initially of, oh, you know, the weaves and the flowing straight hair, and I'm like, this is not me. It started to affect me, you know what I mean? I wanted to have natural hair, and everybody's like, but if you have natural hair, you won't get the jobs on TV, you won't get the commercials, and I'm like, no, I'm going. And then I decided to lock my hair, and everybody's like, okay, you're done.
I should not want to be a lighter Denise Hunt. I should not want to be a less black woman. I should not want to be any of those things because I am so fearfully and wonderfully made. Exactly. I am with my black skin.
I have no issues with who I am, what I look like, what my talent can give, you know. But in the beginning, they did affect me. People would call and, you know, they'd call into a particular program I'd been doing and they'd say the most awful, mean things. And, you know, I don't think they do realize that when they say awful things to you, it hurts. You know what I mean? So I had those challenges that I had to deal with. Never paid them no mind eventually, but deal with it. I think people are relying on a physical look, or people are relying on, okay, so I have a talent, or maybe I like to do it. I think it's something interesting to do. I want to be in front of a camera. But they're not investing in training. They're not either finding somebody who can help them to develop, or finding a class or do a little certificate course or something. Some other challenges I see is with investment. I don't know if companies are taking the plunge to say, all right, I'm going to invest in the best equipment. I'm going to invest even in the cameraman, the sound man, the videographer, all the technical people. I'm going to invest in them so that my product can look good. I don't believe enough of that is being done. And so therefore, when you have one company, for instance, that sets the bar kind of high, they're super expensive. And then so you have, you know, this little hustling mentality that is going on because the technical guys are working for 3 different people just to make ends meet, kind of a thing. There's also the issue of remuneration. You know, people would say things like, oh, Denise is too expensive, or who do you think you are that you can charge this amount or whatever. Well, I've spent some time investing in my craft, and so if you want me to represent a product or represent a thing or a place or whatever, then it's a partnership that I want to form. I don't want to be your employee. I want to form a partnership with you so this product can look good. Employers and people who write the checks have to insist that they have the best working for them. And sometimes it may be up to the person who is developing a cable station or a radio show or whatever it is to say, all right, I see something in this talent, whether the talent is presenter or technical person, I am going to invest, or I'm going to say to the talent, listen, I want you to do something to invest in yourself and to make yourself look better for my product, and here's the help I can give to you. Right? Because if we don't keep training and we just keep accepting, oh, I have a nice voice, I have a nice look, oh, I can manage the most fancy equipment, or, you know, my camera angles are the greatest thing, and I don't do nothing to keep myself relevant, then what's the point? It's never and will never be about the money, not for me. I had an itch from a very early age, and it needed to be scratched, and I was like, if I don't do something with this energy, I'm just gonna combust, right? In Jamaica, it's not, which is so unfortunate, because when you go to the States, they shell out, they pay. Why? Because they believe that the talent, and when I say talent, I'm talking in front of the camera and behind the camera, the talent makes the product. So they pay, and they pay on time. If I do good and you do good, we all look good. And the rest of the Caribbean is drooling over what Jamaica is doing, because they're like, oh my goodness, Jamaica put out this product and the rest of the Caribbean want to copy it. Why? Because we look good, we sound good, and everything is packaged nicely. But guess what? The Jamaicans are not getting paid. The Trinidadians are getting paid. Oh my goodness, the Bajans are getting paid. Why the Jamaicans not getting paid? You think the money not here? The money is here. Pay the talent. The opportunities are coming, you know. It's not as bad as back in the day, when, you know, you have the same 2 little programs and you had 15 presenters, or you had a tiny pool of camera guys, sound guys, videographers, editors. I think people are paying attention. You know what I mean? People are paying attention to say, all right, you know, slowly we're getting there. We are, you know, companies like yours, they are investing in the equipment. The pace is not as brisk as it should be, but money is an issue, right? But it's coming. I have hope it's coming. In Jamaica, we tend to think of the creative industry as something on the side. So we're not investing in it, and the people who want it are not willing to pay for it because it's seen as a hustle. This is my life, you know. This is my job. But I believe in my heart that I was born, I was gifted by God Almighty with a talent. And if I never use it, I'd be committing a sin against God. This is a job. And the creative industry, the people within the industry need to step up and say, listen, this is what I'm worth. I am not going to accept $10 when I have spent $2,000 on all this equipment and bring it in and pay how much duty upon it and all this kind of thing. We need to get some concessions going from government to say, okay, you're bringing in equipment that has to do with this job, that's being filmed in this country or whatever it is in this country, and to make the country look good, you get a little tax break. You see what I'm saying? We have to start look at it like it's worth something.
Coming up next.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 cross spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you. BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Sharon Schroeter, producer of popular local TV.
When I started in 2001, I used to produce Smile Jamaica, which is a morning show on TVJ. Then I moved into working with Anthony Miller for ER. So I used to present a little for that one and help him like be like an assistant producer. Then I did Hype Zone, which was an entertainment show. Then came My Baby, which is Digital Rising Stars. And I've worked on that from 2004, yeah, when it started. So yes, wow. So I've been doing this for a while. I do Intense as well, I produce that. I am the line producer for The Contender and for Magnum Kings and Queens of Dancehall. I have a kids show called Mini Matters. I produce the YVAs, which is the Youth View Awards.
It's one of the premier shows right now that Jamaica has.
I love the excitement of it. I love the fact that you never know what's going to happen. And I like that pressure. So I think if I was to say I specialize in anything, it would be live. One main challenge is always budget. Always, you know. The more money you have, the more you can do. And that's always a challenge. Another challenge that I have personally is when you do get the budget, you have sponsors. And sponsors always want their names everywhere. And I have an issue with that. I think that if you can find a creative way to do that, yes. But a lot of companies, you know, they want everybody must see their feather banner or bunting, which I hate. But that's another challenge, just working with the sponsor to kind of come up with something that will look good, not only for your show, you know, but for them as well, and something that is creative, something that is outside of the box, because that's important. You know, you don't always have to stick to the same thing all the time, just, you know, something different. You know, in productions, there's always going to be problems. You're always going to have crew that's late. You know, that is another issue. You have to know what to do and how to deal with it. I think, for me, I'm a very easygoing, my personality is very easygoing. So while I do work a lot under stressful situations, you will never hear me curse. You will never hear me shout. You'll never, nothing like that. I don't do that, because I think that if you do that, you get everyone else around you in that, you know, getting that same feeling, and I don't want that because it affects the job at the end of the day. Yes, crew is a challenge sometimes, but it's something that you live to, you can work with. You know, I have a feeling that a lot of people think that what we do is easy. That we just come, we turn up, we point a camera at you, and we're good to go. You know, not a lot of people know the intricacies and the importance of what we do and how it makes them look. At the end of the day, it boils down to money and training. If more money was pumped into training, you know, a lot of people in the industry, and getting us good equipment to work with and sending us off on courses, you know, to learn so that we can work anywhere in the world, you know, not only here. That is something that they need to focus more on. There are lots of people out there who are in this industry, but I don't think that they have the passion that others do. So it's a hurry come up production with some of them. And at the end of the day, it makes everybody else look bad, you know. So I think if we regulate it, and if there's, you know, that there's one body who you go to who you say, all right, if you want a videographer or a presenter, that there's a list of people who you can call on, and these people everybody is certified, and, you know, I think something like that would be important to the industry, you know, so that you don't end up with something that you don't want, and then you figure that, oh well, this is how everybody in Jamaica is, so you're going to call in somebody from foreign, when there are people here who are just as good as the ones in foreign or even better.
Welcome, my Mini Matters friends.
It's such a huge business. Television production is a huge industry, and I think that, you know, persons who, take for example, who are at Karamak or, you know, at NCU, they need to get more hands-on experience so that when they come out, you know, they have an idea, they know before what it is that they're interested in, because there's so many different aspects of production. But there are lots of opportunities. I just think that not a lot of people are given the opportunities, and there isn't enough space, you know, for these persons who want opportunities. But there's so many different avenues. I mean, I think you have to be willing to. It boils back down to passion. I have a major passion for what I do, and if I want to make myself better, then I'm going to learn every avenue of production, and I'm going to follow behind people. Even 15 years in this industry, there's still things that I don't know, and so I'm going to ask questions. And I think, you know, it's important for people who want this opportunity to come and ask questions. Don't be afraid. Don't link up with someone at the end of the day who you know, to make it easier to get into the business. If the system was regulated, it wouldn't be as difficult. But you know, it's who you know. Come in and ask questions. And if you're somebody who can be tolerated, then I think you never know what can happen. You know. One of my main reasons for getting into TV was because I want to make a change. I want to make a difference. And I was seeing a lot of things on TV that I didn't like, you know, and not things that I'd want my kids to sit down and watch, which is why I started a kids show, so that it's something that my kids and everybody else's kids can sit down and watch and enjoy and learn from. So anything that I do has to make sense, and has to be something that is going to effect change, whether it be in one person, in two, or the entire country. It's something I just want to make a difference in TV. So that is something that I'm always going to be doing once I'm in this industry, is trying to make a change and trying to make a difference in someone's life, you know, through TV.
Coming up next.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop, or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Run it.
CEO of Phase 3 Productions, Delano Forbes has worked across the Caribbean producing live multi-camera sports and entertainment events, among other TV-related programs.
Phase 3 is a television, film, and multimedia production company. Pretty much we provide the TV stations, media companies with all kinds of creative and technical resources and infrastructure. On the film side, quote unquote film side, you know, when shoots come into Jamaica, if it means facilitating shoots or even local films, you know, which we don't really have as many local films going on at any given time, but generally we act as a resource, again, helping to book crews, book equipment, pretty much any kind of service from a pin to an anchor. If somebody just needs something very small, or they'll call us and say, hey, you know, we have a large production and we need all these services. On the multimedia side, Phase 3 is very involved in events. So a number of events that we work at, whether it's a Sumfest or a Jazz Festival or a Shaggy at Friends, Phase 3 is well known for providing big screens at events, as well as corporate AV events, annual general meetings, awards ceremonies, sales seminars, that kind of thing. We provide a lot of AV from the big screens to the cameras, a wide range of services for the event space. I don't really like to focus on the negatives per se, because for every challenge there's something good can come out of it. But I think most people would probably say some of the challenges which is evolving is off the bat there were at one point there weren't that many media outlets. I see that slowly evolving, and as there are more media outlets in Jamaica present themselves, cable stations, TV stations, that kind of thing, you find the market end up being more competitive, and I think that competition somewhat, will improve the production value. And I think once the production values are improved and things the shows, that kind of thing start to look and be presented a lot better, I think you'll find even the sponsors themselves willing, to contribute more. But in terms of, the budget, the cost related to TVs, I think what most people probably say is going to be a big challenge. Just because we're a small market, Jamaica is 2.5 million people, and I mean we have to be reasonable in terms of when we compare ourselves to some of the bigger markets. And the main reason why they can go out and do the types of productions that they do at the level they do is because of the market that they're catering to. So until we can produce shows that have a wider market outside of just Jamaica, or even the region is still relatively small. If you add the region up together, that's going to be a half of a state in the States. So the budgets are often a factor, and that's very tied to just the size of our market and a number of other factors. From a business perspective, I definitely think the government in terms of incentives, and that's not to say that the government can dole out a check and say here, and there are some things in train. There was the Film Producers the Film Producers Recognition Act that used to be in place. You have the omnibus and a few other legislative type things that facilitate business. But so that, I think, cutting out the red tape, allowing people, you do find that there are a lot more people coming into the industry. I think training. We are at Phase 3, I think we're somewhat known as a training institution for the industry. A lot of persons come here, some having formal training, some not. And I mean, we've had workshops where people are like, wow, you know, in a short period, we've learned a lot. You know what I mean? So I do think training, exposure, you do have some organizations now that, you know, are involved in training, but a number of them I think need to get more hands-on and, you know, integrate with the real world. You know, every year Phase 3, we take on about 20 or so interns over the course of the summer. And I can tell you, some of them, you know, work here today, not right here, but one of them is shooting the bull ones right now. Phase 3 will operate, as I kind of explained, you know, we operate on many different levels. So at any given time, you know, we work on a lot of live shows and live sporting events. So we produce the World Cup qualifiers, you know, we produce a number of games for CONCACAF when the needs for the international broadcast, as well as a lot of the local productions that we're a part of. And we support a lot of production companies. I don't think a lot of people necessarily realize that often our role is facilitating even what many people view as our competitors. You know, it's not unusual for a lot of, you know, a Storm or a CASA or a J-Will or all of those production persons, they call on us for whatever resources. Could be something very small, it could be something big. So we often, you know, our role is often to support the industry, and we're hoping from the different areas that we work in, from the TV broadcast side, which as explained I think is growing, to the film production, which hasn't been growing as much, but you do have a lot of shoots, reality shows, you know, thank you Mr. Bolt. A lot of productions come to Jamaica because of Usain Bolt. You know, or music, the music industry, a lot of documentaries, a lot of activity in that space. And then, you know, events, we're very involved with events. You know, there are more and more events and events. Any promoter needs a big screen. A lot more TV being produced. So you have new people coming into the industry, and they can come into the industry if they see an opportunity, if they see a future where they can earn, you know, a living for themselves and their family. Certainly you'll see more and more people looking into this space and being interested in it because they can see it as a real, you know, as a real career. Whereas before, I think to some extent, people probably don't look at this type of business and think it can be a business or it can be serious, you know. Even in our 30+ years of being, you know, in business, it started as a hobby. You know, most people are like, you know, click a camera thing, whatever. You know, that's not a real career. But certainly, I think, you know, there are many people in the industry have made careers out of it and, you know, been able to do, I think, reasonably well. Everybody obviously thinks could always be better. I think most people would say that, but I think we're in an era where TV is growing in Jamaica, and a lot of that has to do with the media outlets. There are more local channels. I mean, Business Access TV, for example. 15 years ago, you couldn't dream of having a Business Access TV. You know, and there are many other cable platforms, cable stations coming on stream. So all of those platforms need to have content that has to be made by somebody. So once those platforms are up, the people making it currently and do well, you know, they can somewhat be at a bit more of a premium, if you want to call it that. And B, you'll have other people coming in and saying, wow, I can actually make a career out of this. This is something that I want to do.
And that's it this week for Cameo. Even in the midst of challenges, our creative industries continue to shine. I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb.